Grade 11s, you are writing soon, and I thought to quickly make a video just to run through all the solving for x, the quadratic equations, the quadratic inequalities. So this is what this video contains. So just a refresher on all the equations that we've done, including quadratic inequalities as well, that we have to solve. So just a reminder, and a good thing just to quickly look through before you engage with your exam tomorrow. Okay, all right, so quadratic equations, please remember we've done this from grade 10, actually from grade 9. Step 1, you always equal to 0. Step 2, you're going to factorize, and then step 3, solve for x. All right, so those are your 3 main steps with solving quadratic equations. So step 1, equal everything to 0. So I'm going to throw everything over to the one side, and I'm going to plus 30, and that gives you 0. And now I'm going to take out a highest common factor of -5. So then I'm left with x squared plus x minus 30 divided by 5 is 6. And you divide away with -5 on both sides, so that -5 basically just disappears. And then I'm going to factorize that trinomial. The signs are different. First one's a plus and a minus. 3 times 2 gives you 6. If you subtract, it gives you 1. Remember, there's a 1 there in front of the x. So 3 times 2. So x is either -3 or x is 2. All right, so easy peasy. You'll see most of the past exams always start easy with a nice solving for x, easy type of quadratic equation. All right, so here it's already equal to 0, so I'm going to factorize. I take out an x, and then I'm left with x squared minus 2x plus 1. So please remember why I chose that is that x is equal to 0 is one of your answers, and then we can factorize that trinomial as normal. The signs are the same, they're both negative, and 1 times 1 gives you a positive 1, and -1 minus another 1 gives you -2. So x here is either 1 or x is 0. Okay, as you can see, I'm running through it. Over here, just remember with your fractions, we want to take out a highest common factor. And as you can see, we've got an x plus 3, an x minus 3. If I had to swap these around and take out a negative, I'll be left with negative x plus 3, which we can't really make the same as x plus 3. But this one over here, we can swap signs. So if we take out a negative in the front, then the positive 3 will become a -3, and the negative x will become a positive x. So then we have it so that it looks the same as that. Okay, so we just have to include a negative in front. And I also swap the terms. So the positive 3 became a -3, and I swapped it around, and the negative x became that positive x over there. Okay, so our LCD that we're going to take out is going to be x plus 3 and a x minus 3. And only with equations, we can, as soon as we have our LCD the same, we can drop it like it's hot. Okay, so the 2x, what did that need? It went from x plus 3 to x plus 3, x minus 3, so it needs a x minus 3. That negative x had an x minus 3. Now he needs an x plus 3 as well. And now remember, there's a negative in front of that 3. And the x minus 3 required another x plus 3 to complete the LCD. Just want to make sure, x minus 3, so x plus 3. Yes. And now we're just going to simplify from here. So let's do that. 2x times x is 2x squared, minus 2x times 3 is 6x, minus x squared minus 3x is equal to -3x, minus 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so 2x squared minus x squared is just x squared, minus 6, minus another 3x, minus 6x, minus another 3x gives you -9x, and then we plus 3x again, which leaves us still with -6x. And then lastly, that negative 9 is going to come over and become a positive 9 equal to 0. And then that is a lovely trinomial. Signs are the same. They're both negative. 3 times 3 gives you 9. And if you add them, it gives you that 6. So x is either 3 or 3. There's no other option. Okay. All right. They're both the same. All right. Just a reminder of these ones. Lots of my students don't like the replacing of the k. Although for me, I'm very OCD and I want to make sure everything's exi perfecti. So I'm going to replace, just for now, x squared minus 3x with a k. All right, the k method. So don't forget about that if you want to just simplify it for a moment. Then you can see that's an easy peasy trinomial. The k splits and they're different. The first one's a minus, then a plus, and then what times what gives you 20? 10 times 2, if you subtract it, gives you 8. I hope your factorization is as solid as a rock. Okay, so k is either 10 or k is negative 2. But now you're not there yet. Now we need to go and replace back the k. So k is now either x squared minus 3x is either equal to 10 or, oh sorry, I like straight lines, or x squared minus 3x is equal to negative 2. So can you see your k values? You have to go and sub back what you made k previously. So now you're just going to follow your steps. Equal to 0, factorize. The signs are different. The first one's a minus. 5 times 2 gives you 10. Minus 5 plus 2 gives you negative 3. Always just double check. So x is either 5 or x is negative 2. And then this side as well. X squared minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Signs are the same. They're both negative. And 2 times 1 and minus 2 minus 3 gives you minus 2 minus 1 gives you minus 3. Oh, people, sorry, I'm rushing through this because I need to be somewhere and I'm trying just to quickly get this video out. So there's all your lovely answers for x. With these ones, you'll have 4 answers for x and there's no overlap. So these are all your answers. Happy like a chappy. All right. Over here, please, people, remember the product of its primes. The product of its primes. 27, the product of its primes. The way you get it on your calculator is you put 27 equals shift fact, and that gives you 3 to the power 3. The 3 pushes up and multiplies with the x. Over here, 9 becomes 3 squared, but because we want the base value as 3 squared, we're going to take it up, and as we do that, remember, we can also, as we change direction, it will become a negative. So we just change the sign and then we can move its position, the sign of the exponent. So many of you want to change numbers, like you've got a negative 2x, and then you say it is let's make it 1 over, and then you go and say it's 2x over 1. No. Okay, now we can also drop it like it's hard, and 3x is equal to negative 2x. What's in front of the x? A negative, oopsie, wait, now I've done a boo-boo. Let's just go again. This is 3 to the power positive 2, not the x. Sorry. Okay, so 3 to the power negative 2. Drop it like it's hard. 3x is equal to negative 2. Divide with the 3, whatever's in front of the x away. And x is equal to negative 2 over 3. Okay. So to make sure, divide by 3 does say. All right. Over here, if you want to, you can make 3 to the power x a k value. So let's make 3 to the power x a k. You must just now be very careful. What is left there? It's a 3 to the power of a 2. And 3 to the power 2 is a 9k. And over here, 3 to the power 3 is a 27k. And lastly, minus k. So I want to quickly see, did I do something wrong? No, I didn't. 3 to the power x becomes k. Then what's left attached to it is 3 squared, which is a 9k. Plus 3 to the power x, I make a k. And so remember, if you want to just write it out, that 3 to the power x can be split like that. And then you say 3 to the power 3 gives you 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. And 27 times that gives you 27, which we made 3 to the power xk, so it's 27k. All right, minus k is equal to 315. So 9 plus 27 minus 1 gives you 35k is equal to 315. And then we divide with 35 on both sides. And 315 divided by 35 gives you that k is 9. But now, be careful, be careful, be careful. Oh, sorry. If I wanted to talk too quickly. If you made 3 to the power xk, now it's the time to go put it back in. And again, your prime base. So we're going to change the 9, or you could have just said 3 to the power what gives you 9. But let's change it. 3 squared. Drop it like it's hot. Thus, x is 2. Beautiful. Quickly change location so it might seem, or the background noises might seem a little bit different. Good. Good. Okay, let's start. Solve for x and y simultaneously. So first with the 1, we always want to get x or y alone. So x is equal to 2, x is equal to 1 minus 2y, and then you take that and you replace it into that x, and then we have to square it like so. Then I'm just going to expand and FOIL out. Okay, like so. And then you can see that we're going to end up with, I'm going to add my y squared. So 4y squared plus 4y squared is 8y squared. And minus 4y is the only one there. And 1 minus 41 is minus 40 is equal to 0. And then we can divide with 8 all throughout. Or the best way, is to divide with 2 all throughout, with 4 all throughout. And then if you factorize, you're going to get y is equal to a positive 5 over 2, or y is equal to negative 2. Just want to quickly check. Yes, 5 over 2. All right, and then I'm going to take the easiest one here, and we need to go and replace it, the y with in our equation. And I'm going to use this one over here. X is equal to 1 minus 2y. So x is equal to 1 minus 2 times 5 over 2, which is going to give me 1 minus 5, which is either x is negative 4, or if we replace the other one, 1 minus 2 times negative 2 gives you x is 1 plus 4, which is 5. So there's your answers for x and the y's. Okay, hope it all makes sense. So make that one a pretty little heart. Yeah, man. X is negative 4. Good. Then let's quickly look at solving quadratic inequalities. Now, people, please make sure that you draw the parabola to help you out with that. So we're going to factorize as normal. We're going to take out a 2x, and then what is left? X plus 2. All right. And then on the side, if you want to, you can go and write somewhere far from your answer is that 2x is either 0. So x, if you divide with 2 both sides, you get x is either 0, or the x plus 2 is equal to 0, thus x is negative 2. So you are going to draw your parabola, and you're going to check where x is 0, that's where you're going to make your cross, and where x is negative 2 over there. And now let's quickly have a look. Is it a smiley face or a frowny face? The number in front of the x squared, is it positive? Yes, it is. So we're going to make a smiley face. Just a rough sketch like that. And they say to you, where's this graph smaller than 0? So can you see smaller than 0 is going to run between those two values given there. So we're going to write x as an element from -2 to 0. And then are we going to include it? Was there a little stripey originally? No. So it's going to be 2 soft brackets or round brackets. Okay, so please people make sure that with the inequality, the quadratic inequality, you draw your parabola. Okay, let's do another one where x squared minus x is bigger than 12. So first we want to equal it to 0. So x squared minus x minus 12 is bigger than or equal to 0. We can factorize that. So the x times the x, the signs are different. The first one's a minus, and 4 times 3. Hey, minus 4 plus 3 does give you -1. So somewhere far away, you can go solve it now. Pretend that this was an equation, and x is either 4 or x is -3. There we go. Then we're going to draw a rough little sketch, and where x is 4, and x is -3, somewhere like that. Is it a smiley or a frowny face? Let's look in front. It's a positive, so it's going to be a smiley face, and we've got the values of 4 and -3. And now they ask you, where is this graph bigger than or equal to 0? So can you see it's going to be these two above the x-axis? Yes. And remember, it carries on and on and on and on. So it's going to come in from -infinity all the way to -3, or from 4 all the way to infinity. Do I include infinity anywhere? No. Do I include the -3 and the 4? Yes, I do, because of that little stripey underneath there. Okay, so there's your answer. So x is either element from -infinity all the way to -3, or x is an element from 4 all the way to infinity. Okay, people, let's quickly look at steps to solving surd equations. Very, very important. You need to get your surd alone, by itself, on the one side, nobody else next to him. Okay, so this minus x is going to go to the other side, is equal to x. And now you can say, all right, I'm going to square both sides to get rid of that square root. So please, only once you've got it alone, you can do this. Okay, and then we'll be left with 2x plus 8 is equal to x squared. And now you've got a beautiful quadratic equation to solve. Okay, so I've got x squared minus 2x minus 8. So we equal it to 0. We factorize, and you can see that I've left that x out. Sorry. Let's just fix that. Minus 2x plus 8. So x and x, the signs are the same. They're both negative. And how about a 4 times 2? Minus 4. No, that doesn't work. Let's quickly have a look. See, the signs are... Yeah, there we go. I've gone too fast, hey? Okay, it's minus 8. So the signs are different. It's a minus and a plus, and 4 times 2. So x is either 4 or x is -2. Now, people, very, very, very important. NB, you need to go and check your answers. So if I put a 4 underneath there, 2 times 4 is 8. And the square root of 8 plus 8 is 16. Does that equal to 4? So yes, my 4 answer works. Let's go try the -2. So if I replace the x with a -2 plus 8 minus, or we can even equal it and put the x on the other side, does it equal to -2? Can we ever have a surd equal to negative? No, no, no. So you say x can't be negative 2. You could have gone and worked it out. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus 8 gives you negative 4 under square root. Boo, 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 pew, pew, pew. No, no, no. So this answer is not applicable, all right, or not part of your answer. Let's just do 1 or 2 more. So if I've got 3 square root of x plus 4 minus x is equal to 0. So step 1, we want to get rid of that loosey-goosey term. And that would be equal to x. And then we want to divide by 3 on both sides. Okay, we want the surd completely by itself, the square root and the numbers underneath it. And now we can square on both sides, and that will leave me with x plus 4 is equal to x squared over 3 squared is 9. Now you can go and multiply with 9 all throughout. 9x plus 9 times 4 is 36 is equal to x squared. Get your quadratic equation alone and factorize. Signs are different. The first one's a minus and a plus. And how about let's see, I need to quickly think what would be how about 12 and 3? Let's check. Minus 12 plus 3 does give you negative 9. Yes. So x is either 12 or x is equal to negative 3. But people, please, 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 you need to go and double check. So when you go and insert your answers, you can go and do that. You'll see that x is 12 gives you a solution, but x can't be negative 3. Okay, so that answer is not applicable. So you say x can't be negative 3. All right, sorry people, I'm really trying to scurry through here, and that gets us to our last question on equations. I hope it helps, and I hope that you all do very well in your exam. Okay, cheers, thanks for watching, bye.